Welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
Yep, that he is.
And we're here to review the Married at First Sight Season 10 episode. I believe this is 14.
Yeah, I think so.
Episode 14. They're on the retreat. But before we get into Married at First Sight, we hope each one of you and your families are doing well during this pandemic that's going on in the United States and all throughout the world. So hope you guys are safe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our other reviews that we have going on, as well as Married at First Sight. But let's dig into and dive into this episode where it's a lot to pick apart. So this video may be a little lengthy. We're not going to keep it for so long, but it may be a little lengthy because we want to talk about a lot of couples and give it a little bit in-depth of what went on in tonight's episode. First part of the retreat. It's a lot to talk about. So where do you want to start?
I don't know. Well, first we'll start by saying, of course, Zach and Mindy weren't there.
Nope, no Zach and Mindy.
Because they broke up, and the couples kind of talked about that. Do you think Zach and Mindy are coming? And I think Derek and Austin were like, no, I don't think they're coming. And I don't think they know what happened yet, but they just...
I think somebody knows. I think somebody knows, but they're not sharing. And I think someone knows. They just don't want to put it out there. I know the producers know, and we don't know how close they are with the producers and who's been talking. But we don't even know if Zach was close to someone outside of the show, or inside of the show, whether it was Derek or Austin. But we do know. But I think one of those guys know, and they kind of changed the subject real quick when they was at the retreat. Let's not talk about them. I don't think they come. And Derek said, and it just moved on, and then they just moved on with it. And with the retreat, we know that Derek and Katie got there first.
Yes.
Derek and Katie got there first. They got to this nice, beautiful house, and we're trying to figure it's probably close to Luray, Virginia, because we saw the Luray cabins.
Like
Shenandoah Valley, somewhere in that area. Try to figure out where they actually went to. They get there and they find the biggest room in the house. And this is always, I always think it's fun.
Go exploring.
And I always got to ask people, and I'm going to ask you, is it disrespectful to go pick your room before everybody else gets there, or should you wait for everybody to get there, then y'all kind of pick the rooms?
I feel like you should wait for everybody to get there to pick the rooms. That's how I feel, but I don't know.
Early bird catches the worm. So if you late, early bird catches the worm. We knew this. Let's get it going.
But we know the other couples, and like Derek and Katie didn't need the biggest room because they didn't need space apart like some of the other people might have.
So the couples get there. Then you get Austin and Jessica who shows up, and then this is where things start to go. You have a good conversation. This is where things start to go south. When they get there, Austin is there, Jessica's there, Derek is there, Katie's there. Then we find Katie outside talking to Jessica.
Yes.
And they start having a conversation, and Katie's already upset at Derek anyway on the ride. She's still, like, say, he's acting childish. He's never initiating anything. She's still feeling some type of way about the poem. I know we talked about it last week. Get over it. It was a poem. He never felt this way about me.
In ninth grade.
Never felt this way about me in 7 weeks. Dog, you don't know how long him and this girl been together when they was in ninth grade. This is a ninth grade person, and this is a grown man, and you're still complaining that a 7-week experiment. He has not showed you he loves you or told you that he loves you. To me, I don't know what her point of reference is. Derek did a lot of things that we've seen on camera.
Right.
And I don't know about anybody else, but she has not showed that much. They have not showed her doing that much for Derek on camera.
That's what I think. And I think when she talks about him never initiating anything, she is talking about sexually. Because we have seen him initiate. He did the painting thing. He's done the roses on the floor and drawing the back. I mean, he's done all of that.
Yeah, he's talked to her family. Remember, he
got the pictures.
Got the pictures. So he's done a lot of things in their relationship.
I don't know what she wants.
But she wants more. We found out what she wanted. But nonetheless, we get to that in a little bit. But she tells Jessica all these things that Derek is not doing and what she wants him to do. And Jessica's like, me and Austin got into a fight. Like, that's a big deal. Like, me and Austin got into a big issue.
Because we find out later that Jessica, Katie and Derek have the same thing too, but Jessica's like, she basically feels bad because it's going so good between her and Austin when she hears the other people's sob stories.
Yeah.
You know, and we might as well get to it. You know, she shares that I told Austin that I love him. And by this time, Meka and Michael are there, and Taylor and Brandon are there, but they're outside during this conversation. The guys are. But, you know, then Katie just kind of lost it.
Yeah, because she wants that, and she wants that from Derek, but Derek was showing more attention to Taylor than her, and so she's getting upset and kind of flustered about why you flirting with Taylor and why you showing her more attention than me, and you know, Jessica's like, I don't even like bringing stuff up while we're in the group because I make them feel bad because me and Austin are doing so well, and the only issue we have is that he travels and then
that's the only argument that we had.
And he hasn't told her how much he travels. Now he said he mentioned, I understand you're newlywed and you're just getting married and you don't want to be able to go weeks without seeing your husband or days without seeing your husband, but you also want your husband to work. And not like he didn't tell you he was going to travel. So it's kind of twofold. It's not, to me, I'm looking like she works maybe 12, a nurse, probably 12-hour shifts, 12, 13-hour shifts. So he's home practically all day without you, or you're practically, I know you may get 4 days off or 3 days off, whatever the way it flows. But you guys that's his job. That's his job. And I know for young couples and it's hard, but they're going to have to work that out. Yeah. I mean, it's not a deal breaker. Put it that way. For them, it's not a deal breaker. It shouldn't be a deal breaker.
Well, later, Katie brings it to her attention. It's like, it's going to be different, but keep in mind that pretty much during this experiment, y'all have been around each other day in and day out. Yeah. And that's not regular. No. That just doesn't happen. Once you get married, you know, real life sets in. And probably not until the 8 weeks is over will their actual for real life
because you don't have no production crew telling you when to meet, when not to meet, what you have to do, where you need to be at, or we need to film today, not film today. You're just working on a regular lifestyle.
And I'm sure a lot of them made some arrangements. It's like, okay, with my job, I'm doing this thing. You know, can I not travel until this time? You know, I'm sure they've made some kind of concessions or try to get some concessions in their jobs. So, you know, after the 8 weeks, they're going to be like, well, you know, you got to go do X, Y, Z, element of P.
And he's preparing her for that, so hopefully they get their stuff together. But that's the only argument they have. But we get to see all the couples making their way to their resort location. So then we go into Brandon and Taylor, because I want to go there. We see Brandon, who's on his phone. You know, he's doing a recording, which I'm kind of happy for this, because I'm like, okay, at this point I'm thinking maybe Brandon's making some leeway. He's doing a little recording, and we come to find out that Taylor did not come home. That Taylor was out with some friends, and Taylor ended up staying a night at the hotel, and she didn't really tell Brandon who she's with, but all he knows that his wife did not come home. And not that that's not cool. No. By no means is that cool for a wife not to come home and you spend a night at the hotel, 30, 40 minutes and you fell asleep. So that's not cool at all. Whether it was your girlfriends or girlfriend and boyfriend, whatever the case may be, is not cool. Get your butt up, go home. Tell your husband come pick you up. Look, I'm feeling sleepy. I'm going to take a nap here. When I get up, I'm going to go home. Communicate, but he wakes up and she finds out that she's not there. So now, you know, Brandon, he's pissed. He's done with it. He's over with. He's like, yo, I'm done. I'm not even going to address the issue. This is where I have a problem with Brandon. Everything he said up to this point was cool. My problem is that when he saw Taylor that morning, or when they got ready for this trip, they should have had the conversation prior to getting to the resort. He's not that hot on that match. So what he does, he said, I'm going to put my earphones in, I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep. You had at least, if you're coming from D.C. and think we're going where you're going, you had at least a 2.5 hour drive. Hour 45 minute, 2.5 hour drive, depends on traffic, to get to your destination. That's a great time to be mad, have a conversation, get it back together, get out the car right, and enjoy this resort moment. And he said nothing.
Nothing. Even when they got there, nothing. He didn't speak to the other folks. He basically was like,
he spoke to Michael.
Well, that's what I was going to say. But before they got there, you know, he was like, I'm going on this couples retreat. I don't really know these people like that. It's like I'm going with a bunch of strangers. But we know that he talks to Michael. So I thought that was funny that he would say that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're not with a bunch of strangers. not completely, but when he gets there, yeah, he links up with his dude, his
road dog,
raggedy cohort, his raggedy cohort, Michael, and these two are outside, not associating with the other folks, talking about what's going on. And the conversation he should have had with Taylor,
he's having with Michael.
He's having with Michael.
And I know some of y'all thinking it, and somebody gonna probably leave it in a comment that Michael and Brandon like each other. So I know somebody's thinking it, but we're not even gonna go there.
Oh Lord.
Somebody said it. Somebody said it in the comments last week.
Yeah.
So I know somebody's thinking it right now.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead.
And then the same thing for Michael. So on the way, we see Michael and Meka are tense in the car. She wants to have a conversation, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And they don't have as quiet or tense a ride as Taylor and Brandon.
It was a little tense because Meka got out the car. Go back to the scene and watch. Meka got out the car like she was running to the house.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying in the car.
Yeah. Meka got out that car. I had to rewind it and watch her like, yo, check this out. Meka's like she's running like she closed the car door and ran to the house.
Yeah, she was like, I don't care if you get your stuff out the car. I don't care if you get out the car. I'm getting my bags. I'm moving to the house.
But my hat's off to me. She was trying to fix it in the car.
Yeah, she was.
She was like, "Oh, we on a resort. Let's try. We at this resort. We on this weekend. Let couples retreat. Whatever the case may be. Let's try to fix it." And he wasn't even trying to have it.
No.
Not even trying to have a conversation, which we've come out find out later on that his uncle had passed away, and he had to go set up some arrangements for his uncle.
It's not funny, but that
funeral.
Even from the jump when he was outside talking to Brandon about the fact that his uncle passed away and doing the funeral, and she didn't even. Like, she wasn't sympathetic. She didn't empathize, whatever. Like, I got confused. I was like, when did the uncle pass? Did they have the funeral already? What happened?
I was just like, okay, we knew when Keith's grandma passed away in season 9, they talked about it a little bit. Production talked about it a little bit. You know, Iris got involved with it a little bit. I didn't know did he even tell Meka that his uncle passed away? She knew.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, go into detail where she could. I feel like Meka's not that cold-hearted. That she would have really been sympathetic.
Well, see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, to go back to last season, I said this with Keith and Iris. Like, you got a lot to live up to, because Iris was in there. She was with Keith, you know, and went to see the grandma the last time. She was real comforting and you know, kind of mourning with him and very sympathetic, and you know, she was just a really good wife. And I'm like, I don't know if he didn't give Meka the chance to be that way. I would hope Meka would have, but
his thing was Brandon, because he said it to Brandon. His thing was that she didn't sit there and talk to him while he was going through. That he was having some issues, and Meka didn't really kind of console him or feel empathetic towards him.
She don't seem like the empathetic.
And what was going on? So that was his issue when he was talking to Brandon. Like, look, she didn't say anything. She didn't really show any empathy. And so that was one of the, that was the issue that he had. So we get to the house, and the two guys, Brandon and Michael, just go outside and hang out and drink.
Yeah, they get their drink first.
A little Jack Daniels, a beer, Jack Daniels for my man Michael, a little beer for Brandon. They out doing their own thing while the rest of the people are in the house talking about the relationship.
Cooking the tacos. Fix the tacos.
Talking about relationships.
For a
group meal, and these two Bamas don't even come out. Not even part of that. So therefore, Taylor and Derek become real friendly. They both drunk a little drinking, and Katie's just upset. She's upset that Derek is flirting with Taylor. They're having a good time laughing.
That's what
she called it flirting.
What she probably calls. Oh, he's being nice to her. He's doing to her what he won't even do for me, and you get on my freaking nerves. I can't take it. I'm sick. And he was just being pleasant. He said, and what he said to her later was, I was being myself. I was just being myself. And I think we've gotten that from Derek. He's a fun-loving type of guy. Yeah. He's talkative. He's relatable. And he was, to me, he was just being him.
But she was stuck up from the get go. I mean, she came on the trip already having an attitude. So she was already you know couldn't
still
let it go.
Still mad about the cooler and the poem.
And the poem, the cooler, the elephant sneaking in the circus at night. She was already upset. So therefore, any little thing that Derek did, and Jessica told her, "Why don't you tell him?" Basically, why don't you tell? I try to tell him every which way it is. He just got to get it. I can't make him get it, but you want him to initiate. But you can't tell him, show him, or tell him, hey, this is what I like. This is what I need to be done. This is how I like to be treated. And I know some people say, oh, you shouldn't have to tell a man that. But guess what? You have instructions for everything that you buy. Instructions for everything that you buy. So if you never tell, and you're a woman, you've already created your 30-something years, in her case 25 years, of what you like, what you don't like. If you never share that with him and expect him to guess what you like, I guarantee you most men are going to get it wrong. So, but if you know anything about men, women, and if you tell a man how to take care of you, he will take care of you that way if he really loves you. Because he take care of his car that way. He gets his oil changed every 3,000 miles. He changes tires when he needs to be tires rotated. He'll take care of all those things that he need to take care of once he has the manual and knows how it's done.
Well, and then the other thing, understand the nature of this experiment. Y'all don't know each other.
Yeah.
You're starting from square one. So unlike most couples that date, or they might have been friends before and then they started dating, so you get to know each other, and then during the dating process you're getting to know each other. While you're engaged, you're still getting to know each other some more before you get married. So the person you're with is already figuring you out. In this experiment, they don't know you. You're going to have to tell them.
Yeah. You're
going to have to talk. And these three couples, from their trips in the car to the time they get to the resort, and they have to talk. Yeah. Nobody's talking about the issue at hand and how to address it and what we're going to do to fix it.
Communication. But I like the fact that Derek, even though Katie told him not to go outside with her, he went anyway and sat on the porch. Sometimes you have to assert yourself in there and just have to be there. Don't say anything. And that's something that we have to learn. People have to learn in conversations.
Well, he did take a little bit of nudging. You know, she jumped up from the table. And he was like, should I go? And Jessica was like, yes.
Because the first time she jumped up, he didn't go.
Right.
And he should have went.
And she made a big deal about that.
It wasn't a big deal.
Jessica.
But it was
no, she did. She did. She was like, see, he should be out here, not you, Jessica.
Which is right. But what happens with a guy, from the guy perspective, if I see all your friends jump up, why should I? It just crowding the room, crowding the space. They're going to talk to you. We're going to deal with it, and then let's have a conversation afterwards and then deal with it. Now, if there's something, then I jump up, and then your friends come behind and look, I got this. So I think that's where he didn't know which way to maneuver, because Jessica got up, Meka got up, and he like, you know what? They're going to let them talk to her, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing here, and then we'll come together. And so when he went outside and they sat down and have a conversation, she still was pissed. They cussing back. I mean, for real, they cussing back and forth. At the moment, he should have just been there. What happens in arguments, and this is where they escalate, is one person don't know how to be quiet.
Right.
Let the other person share their thoughts all the way through, and then you can come back. And one thing, and then you come back not with a rebuttal, because that's how they feel. So many times in relationships and in arguments, I'm speaking from experience here. Don't come back with rebuttals. Come back with knowing, you know what? Okay, yes.
This is what I heard you say.
This is what I heard you say. I respect your feeling. I understand what you said. But now, if it's okay, let me share what I saw. And this is my perception of the situation. Right. This is my perception of the circumstance, and that will calm down the argument, so you can have more time spending with each other. She went to bed mad. He tried to have a conversation before he went to sleep.
No, I mean, like up under the covers, mad. Like
threw the covers
over her head. He spoke to her, and she said nothing.
And which I'm not mad. If you're not in the mood to have that conversation right now, guess what? Let's taper it till the morning when I'm in bed. And we saw that when they got up the next morning, they was able to have that discussion. They was able to come have that conversation. He was like, I wasn't flirting. It basically said, F-tail. I was just there being me. It's all about you. And then we saw that he started being what she wanted him to be. After she told him what she wanted. After she told him, this is what I want. He stole the keys to the golf cart. They went golf carting around this property and the plantation. They went on little pedal boats and all that. So he was a bad boy, and she said something about hood rats, which I don't even. Anyway, leave that alone. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm just gonna leave that whole conversation, that comment alone.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I think you're using that out of context.
Out of context, yeah.
But yeah. So, I think Derek and Katie kind of got on a good plane. As always, Jessica and Austin, no real ripples with them. They went to Luray Caverns, look like, and
they just wanted to
they saw the rainbow. They saw the rainbow in the cavern, and they just had a nice little visit.
Yeah.
Michael and Brandon left because Michael said that he had to take care of some things as far as the funeral arrangement, which again, like we said, was confused. With this, at first it sounded like it already happened. Now it sounds like they got to make arrangements, which that's fine.
He could get arrangements done, but let's back up a little bit.
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Let's back up a little bit. Back up because Taylor and Brandon gets into. Everybody go to the room.
Yeah.
Taylor comes out, talk to Brandon, try to have a conversation. She sits on his lap, trying to be all lovey-dovey and like, "What's up, boo? I know you didn't come out here. I understand. I'm trying to give you your space. You don't like people, so we dealing with this." And he's like, basically like, "Yo, just not even showing any emotion to her." And then she goes into what really happened. Her side of the story is that she was taking him to work in D.C. He had to do some work or some festival or whatever the case may be. So while she was in D.C., she caught up with her friends.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he texted her.
And
like,
he told her, she told him that.
Yeah. Like, he texted back, like, "Yo, I'm going, I got some more work to do," or he going to the house, hang out, and she's like, "Okay, I'm going to hang out with my friends." And he was like, "Well, you know, I thought we were supposed to hang out together, but you didn't want to hang out together at the house. So it's like, you didn't want to hang out together, but you don't want me to hang out with nobody else, so I'm going to go hang out with my friends." And I got confused explaining that because I had to watch that a couple times to try to figure out
right.
what was really going on.
Right.
And who was telling the truth. But nonetheless, Taylor ended up staying with her friends, hanging out, and
because
not being with Brandon.
Add in, she said, Brandon said he had to work, but she said you didn't work. You went home.
You went home.
You didn't work, you went home. But I told you I was hanging out with my friends, and so that's what I did. Since we had to go into D.C. anyway, while you were doing what you were doing, I was hanging out with my friends. Not my fault you went home early. I was hanging out with my friends. But she did hang out a little bit longer than she should have. Yeah. And I mean, 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, he didn't want no parts of that. He took the mic off, dude. The production guy, like, "Yo, don't touch my stuff." Brandon, like, "Yo, what you want?" My hat's off to the production guy, right?
Man.
And he didn't want to lose his job behind Brandon. But you know what, I'm not a prideful dude. But you know what? After the show wrapped up, I'd have saw Brandon. I ain't saying a lot. I would have saw Brandon.
I put these paws on him.
I put these paws on him, right? He would catch these paws. But you know, and what Brandon was giving these production.
Nasty.
He told F the lady, F this one. She said, "I'm a golden piece of S." You know what I'm saying? He was just cussing everybody. And then Taylor tried to calm him down like she did in Panama. Don't touch me. He go in the bathroom to have a conversation. And the production.
Don't come in here with me. Don't get that camera away from me. Don't come in here.
Yeah. And he was acting like a complete child. Production crew is creative. They go outside and look through the bathroom window, and she still had her mic on, so you're hearing the whole conversation. And you know, he's like, "Get away from me! I'm not doing this." And
let me pull out my phone so I can record, because I know how you like the live front.
Look, I'm not even mad at him for that, dog. Look, while we in this bathroom, I'm gonna record, so you ain't gonna say I put my hands on you. You ain't gonna say I pushed you. You ain't gonna say I didn't touch you. So let me go ahead and I'm not even mad about that part. Let him do what he shouldn't have got to that situation in the first place.
No.
She shouldn't follow him while he's angry and mad. Just let it be, because you know how he is. Let it ride. But she kept following. She kept pushing and poking bear. So guess what? He was like, "I'm gone. I'm doing this." His passive aggressiveness. I'm not dealing with conflict. I'm gone. So wherever he slept at that night, whatever he slept. They got to a conclusion where Taylor and Brandon just can't be together.
Right.
Like, I'm not even going to argue with you no more. We just can't even be together. So they came up with the idea the next morning. Brandon and Michael, who somehow are hitching a ride back to D.C.
Well, we knew Brandon said the night before, and Taylor says it too, that Brandon told her that he had to leave. He had to go to work. He was going to be gone for this space of time.
Right.
He may or may not come back. Well, after that night, it was definite. I ain't coming back. Michael, on the other hand, till everybody else knew, Meka found out that morning that he was leaving. He didn't even say anything to her.
But at least he said bye, right?
Well, he did say bye. Brandon did say bye. Brandon went straight outside. But so Meka's mad at that because you didn't tell me you were leaving and that you were coming back. And so Michael goes to get Brandon before hey, they're ready to take us and give us a ride into DC. Production is driving us in. Brandon gets outside first, and here he go again. He's like sitting in the car with the doors locked and won't unlock the door for the people that are driving them.
Dog, I would have left that dude. I want to say something. I would have left that brother. That brother would have been left, dog. Now, if I'm production guy, yo, dude, I'm not taking you back nowhere. You know what you signed up for. You don't want to be a part, cool, but I'm not. Yo, he acts so immature.
No, it was terrible.
It's child. And when he looks back and watch this, he got to realize that he act like just like a straight ace.
That's why I said earlier when Brandon tried to say, and I think somebody related to him tried to say, oh, I think it was his aunt. Mm-hmm. I talked to him. This is not typical of him. Man, please.
She lied. That's typical of him. Because every time, this happens, every time he does this, right. he wants his way. He end up walking. I don't know if he walks back to DC or not. Probably didn't walk back to DC.
Oh, because he didn't even unlock the door for Michael. Yeah. Michael was like, look, they said, you got to unlock the door so they can get in or we're not going anywhere. And he, cracks the window for Michael and said, I don't trust you either. I feel like they're trying to make this a thing. They're trying to set me up. Yeah. Man, that paranoid schizophrenia is something.
He made it a thing. But I tell you one thing, that van would not moved.
Bruh,
he'd have been fired. Promise you, he'd have been fired that day. I don't know about y'all. Let me know. Would y'all move the van for Brandon, or he would have been walking? Because he went off walking. Me and Michael would have got in the van and would have drove right past Brandon.
Yes, Lord.
But we come to find out that they did take Brandon back to DC. So, mind you, while Michael was gone, Taylor and Meka go on their little excursion together.
Yeah, their excursion was the paranormal
activity. Taylor gets a text from Brandon, I ain't coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Meka calls Michael, and Michael said, well, we stuck in traffic. I'll be back about 5 or 5-ish or whatever the case may be. And I'm sitting here, please don't lie to that girl. If you ain't gonna make your way back, please just say you ain't coming back. But anyway, he gets back. But we get there. But Meka and Taylor really enjoyed themselves at the paranormal activity. That's not for me.
No.
Not for me. I'm not talking to dead folk.
No.
All right.
Even though I had a coworker that was a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
I don't know if she still does it, but
that's not for me. But it's, to me, maybe some of y'all can look. To me, it seemed like that when that thing was lighting up, the dude sitting to the right had like a hand on the button. It seemed like he was pushing a button. Maybe that was editing. Maybe that's just the way TV was. I don't know, but it looked like he was pushing a button. Y'all let me know. I thought it was kind of funny anyway. But nonetheless, they have a good time. They get back to the house. Everybody's questioning, Michael, you back? I'm glad you come back. Where's Brandon at? Brandon ain't coming back. Mm-hmm. So then we get to the table. This is where I'm like, yo, dude, just shut up. They start asking Michael questions about why Brandon's not coming back. Did they get to the funeral?
Who went
where? And
who shot John?
Michael was sitting there sweating like he underneath interrogation, sweating bullets. I mean, sweat just dripping.
Well, but I thought about this. So production drove them into town, into DC. They had to take Brandon to a festival because he had work to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, that all makes sense to me. Then he starts saying, by the time we did this, it wasn't that much time for me to do what I needed to do. I did arrange something. I didn't really see my family. I saw some of them here and there. I went this place, that place. Then we was trying to find a place to park so we could let Brandon out. And it was like,
why did y'all park?
Why did you park? Why you didn't just let him out? So did you go in the festival? So did you hang out with Brandon? Well, no, I didn't hang out with him, but we went in to take him in. But Meka says, I thought you didn't hang out with him. And then Meka said, matter of fact, why did production drive you? Why you didn't just drive? Now, this the issue I have with that question. This the issue I have. Michael and Meka came in the same car.
What?
Her car, I'm sure. What was he going to drive?
Yeah, why are you going to drop you off at home?
And then, what was he going to drive? And if he take the car, what if you need to go somewhere and Taylor didn't want to drive? You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, Meka, come on, that's common sense. So he going to take the production van and drive? No, that don't make sense. But he not going to take your vehicle. and Brandon ain't gonna take Taylor's. So that was a whole bunch of fraganackle bull. How Brandon had to go get his work clothes. Why didn't he bring his work clothes? He knew he had to go to work, and then we had to take him here, and then we had to go back here. It was just all over the place. And Meka was like, "See, this is what I be dealing with." Now y'all know. I mean, she busted homeboy straight out like, y'all, this foolishness.
It's not me. This is what he does. He could have just said, you know what, we had to take Brandon to the festival. We stayed there for a minute. I saw my family, and then we got stuck on the traffic on the way back. Done deal. But he makes up like 15 million stories to just say...
Trying to find a parking space.
Yeah, so she got frustrated. She got tired, and she like, yo, you know what, this stuff is ridiculous. This is how my marriage is because he doesn't speak and tell the truth. Mm-hmm. My marriage is just in shambles because this dude refuses to get straight to the point. You know, and that's one of the things that was disheartening. Michael could have been like, yo. It seemed to be Michael was following Brandon. Mm-hmm. Like, they neither one of them wanted to be there.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, dude, you leaving? Okay, I'm leaving with you, bruh. But let me find out I got something to do. Okay, you know what? I'm going to come back because if I'm not here, then it will be another issue. So let me get here. Which Taylor and Meka had a conversation that was interesting. Meka was like, just because he's here doesn't mean he's trying. Mm-hmm. Taylor was like, well, just because Brandon here, he is trying.
Right.
And so I'm sitting here like, y'all just want two different things. Because Meka wants somebody who's involved. Taylor just wants somebody who's there. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here like, y'all should just swap.
Oh no!
Just swap. Oh, Brandon's not gonna lie to Meka because he don't lie, but she'll be able to take care of his needs. Now Michael will lie to Taylor, but Taylor don't care because she be out with a girls partying anyway, so it ain't gonna make a difference.
No, they should not swap. But just.
But you know, one thing I wanted to say about Derek and Katie's argument that made me laugh. I wanted to touch on this real quick. She was like, "You're not intimate. You never address." He's like, "Yo, you've been on your period for the last 6 or 7, 8 days."
First he said 8. I mean 8. 6. And she was like, "Well, married couples have sex when the woman's on their period." And I was just like, maybe Derek's not that guy.
Derek's not that guy. Maybe he doesn't want to do that.
And everybody don't do that, Katie. Yeah,
everybody.
He don't want a massacre.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't do that. So it's like, but my thing is not even that. But they didn't even have a conversation about that. What my thing is about what intimacy do you want? This episode right here was like, wow. I mean, too much production. I said it in the last couple weeks. We have seen more production crew members than ever before, and these.
But it's like they're bringing. Brandon is bringing them out. It's like. Just to go back a little bit, like he was in Dude Face, he was like, "No, I'm gonna be an A. I'm gonna be nope. I ain't going nowhere."
Dude, like, who are you?
It was like, why are you acting like this?
Look, they didn't do their due diligence on this season with trying to find the correct people, or maybe they did. Maybe they wanted this drama.
I think they obviously did not expect for somebody to act like that. But I think you said it too. As far as production goes, like, bro, we don't have to deal with your foolishness.
No, dog.
I don't care if you and Taylor work out or not. At this point, you and this show ain't working out. Because you are irritating me.
We're not cutting cameras off. We're going to keep rolling. Dude said we got to keep rolling.
Oh, yeah. Get that camera on my face. Stop rolling. He was like, look, can't do it. That's just not the way it works.
But see, that's my thing is, I think when they did the show, they missed something with Brandon and Michael. They missed something with these guys. These two dudes, as an African American man, they're making us look bad on TV. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Somebody's thinking it. African American men, that right there made me be like, God, dog, dude, why y'all acting? Even if you don't even like the girl, right? Even if you're gonna end the relationship, don't act like a butt on TV. Be who you are. Be truthful. Enjoy it, ride it out, enjoy this retreat, relax, and be who you are, but don't show your tail.
But the same thing happened with Keith last season. He kept this facade up, and then when the way he let Iris down, we were still mad. So
I guess they figured we ain't gonna hold it in. Let me be what I am.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I'm so disappointed.
So, man, when you think about it right now, out of the 5 couples, right, as we head into decision day, because 8 days left for decision day, right? 8 days before decision day. Out of the 5 couples, we know that Zach and Mindy not gonna make it, right? And I'm not gonna spoil it for some of you who so watched it early. We already know that the other 2 couples, you know,
did what they did.
Micah and Meka did what they did, and
Taylor and
Brandon did what they did. We're really down to we know Austin and Jessica really not gonna say.
Yeah, I don't foresee them having an issue.
Only the couple that we don't know what they're gonna do is Derek and Katie.
Right.
That's the only couple right now where you like, you know what, Derek and Katie, yeah, we on the fence.
Man, this season is heart-wrenching.
It has never been a season before that I know of that when you went on decision day, you was only down to 1 couple that you didn't know. That one couple. Even last year, Jamie and Beth surprised a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't know if they were going to stay together because they both were crazy, or you thought they were going to separate. You only had like really 1 couple that you thought was going to stay together, and that was Deanna and Greg. Everybody else was up in the air on the fence, didn't know. Well, you knew Matt and Amber was going to split too.
Yeah,
but
we just felt like Keith and Iris was a little bit closer.
But you felt that Amber was just maybe crazy enough. Well, excuse me, needy enough. I won't say crazy. Needy enough that she may just say, you know what, I'm going to try to stay with Matt. So,
especially if he had said it first. But that's last season.
That's last season. But this year.
Oh my gosh.
So why are we even watching? Why are we even watching?
It's like I told my sister. These couples, 5 of them this time. I think maybe it's because they did 5 that just messed it up. But I almost feel like, except for Austin and Jessica, throw the whole season away. Throw the whole season away. It's been a mess. Throw the whole season away.
I'm interested to see how New Orleans shape up. If they learned anything from DC in this year, if they could fix some of the problems, issue. But a lot of these cast members have issues much deeper than marriage. Much deeper than marriage, and they need to fix those and work those. Hey, I want to
know the psychological evaluation. I think I said this last season with
Matt.
No, Jamie and Elizabeth.
Oh, Jamie and Elizabeth.
I said this last time with them. Oh yeah, Matt too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what is the psychological evaluation that you putting these people through? Because
some of these people are loony.
Yes, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Needs some medicine.
Needs to take his medicine.
Needs to take his medicine. Anyway.
And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm a health professional. And he works in mental health, behavioral health. So we're talking about something that is obviously that's obvious. Yeah. Something ain't right.
Something ain't clicking.
Something ain't right.
Something not right. And so not a self-evaluate. Not going to evaluate or
we ain't diagnosing
Brandon right now.
But y'all, you know.
Yeah, you.
And I know. You know that I know that something ain't right.
Something ain't right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hey, hope you enjoyed this review of Married at First Sight. Man, can't wait till next week. I think we get some of. We're down to a week left. Decision day. They're finishing up their retreat. We get to the point where they get to spend a night apart to make a decision where, as we mentioned a few minutes ago, some of these decisions are already made. But either way, if you're interested to see how things shape out next Wednesday, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Don't miss any of our reviews on Married at First Sight or any other show that we do. Hope you enjoyed this review. It was a little lengthy at best, but nonetheless, the show was pretty good. 2 hours and a lot to talk about. And we didn't mention Zach and Mindy because there was no Zach and Mindy.
No, it was no Zach and Mindy. So, again, we thank you for joining us. And we just want to remind you all, whatever state you're in, whatever your governor has says, whatever the government has says, let's be #alone together. Stay at home and stay safe so this COVID-19 virus doesn't spread further.
Yeah. And I would rather not. I'm glad I'm quarantined with somebody I love.
Yes.
Bye.